You know what nobody tells you about ambition? That for a lot of us, especially us who grew up in chaos, desire itself got weaponized until wanting something began to feel dangerous, until your own fire felt like a liability. So you went cold, you shut down and became the dependable one. Or you went feral with it and started 12 projects and didn't finish any of them. You couldn't sleep, you couldn't stop, you couldn't tell the difference between passion and compulsion. Welcome to Tarot Tuesday. Today we are talking about the Suit of Wands, and we're going into the shadow. We're talking about what this suit looks like when your drive is actually a trauma response. And the Suit of Wands is a fire suit. And they all carry this similar energy. Will, drive, a sacred hunger of I want. But fire doesn't know moderation. And fire doesn't care about you. It will burn what it is given. Your dreams, yeah. But also your relationships, your health, your nervous system. The shadow of this suit is unchecked desire, egotism, and impulsivity. Starting everything but finishing nothing. A performative grind. A restlessness that doesn't want to sit still because sitting still means feeling. The Ace of Wands is the purest form of creative energy in the deck. No agenda, no trauma, just here's a spark. What are you going to do with it? The Shadow. For survivors, this card can surface grief. How many sparks did others put out? And how many times did you start something and someone or something inside of you asked you, who do you think you are? The Ace of Wands is asking a question. Do you still believe you're allowed to want things and not just what's safe? The Two of Wands is the edge of the map, the potential, mid-leap. A plan is forming, visions are real. The next move just hasn't been made yet. This is an intersectionality of possibility and self-doubt. The moment before you commit, when every wound in you is whispering, what if you fail? The Two is asking you, whose permission are you still waiting for? The Three of Wands is momentum. You've moved and things are moving back. It's expansion. Something you've started is starting to answer you. For hypervigilant survivors, the waiting is where we unravel. We start scanning for the thing that's going to go wrong. We are trying to snatch back control of a ship that is already at sea. So can you stay with success without immediately bracing for collapse? This is the moment you let that milestone mean something. This is the most deceptively challenging card in this suit for people with difficult histories, because if celebration wasn't safe, if things were only good right before they got really bad, your nervous system learned to flinch at the Four of Wands, to distrust it. So if you have this inability to receive and to let good things be good, to believe that stable means safe and not just the quiet before the storm, the work here isn't building. You have already built. The work is letting yourself stand on it. A healthy Five of Wands can be productive conflict, a brainstorm that gets really loud, a competition that sharpens you. But the unhealthy Wands is your childhood dinner table. It's people who can only really feel alive in conflict. People who manufacture drama when things get too quiet. Who mistakes chaos for passion and stillness for abandonment. This card is asking you to feel the difference between tension that can create and tension that just consumes. The dangerous victory. The Six of Wands is a full public recognition arc. And yes, it is a good card. You have earned it. Claim it. The shadow of the Six of Wands is identity collapse through acclaim. When your self-worth got built on a wound. When you only learned you were valuable because you were performing or achieving. Winning becomes an addiction. The shadow is that you aren't resting after the Six of Wands. You immediately look for the next race. Because if you stop performing, you might find out that there is nothing underneath. The Six of Wands asks, would you still do the work if nobody watched? This figure is barely holding their position. And I see this card the most often with people who have to grow up to fight for the right to exist. People who learned early on that any ground they gained had to be defended constantly. The Seven of Wands, in a healthy aspect, is protecting what you've built with clarity and conviction. But at its most wounded shadow, it's hypervigilance dressed up as confidence. It's a person who's always on guard, always anticipating an attack, who can't receive care because care feels like a distraction from defending. If you can't let your guard down even when you're safe, this card is for you. The Eight of Wands in flight. No human figure in here, just pure momentum. Things are moving fast. Opportunities are cascading. And for some of us, that speed is a drug. The shadow of this eight is someone who is using chaos and motion as a disassociation tool, who stays so busy that they never have to be present, who books their calendar solid, because emptiness means that feelings arrive. Speed is not clarity. If you can't slow down without panic, the wands are running you and not the other way around. This Nine of Wands, battered, braced, and refusing to quit. For trauma survivors, this card is deeply resonant and deeply complicated, because surviving against the odds is real strength, and that resilience is yours. Nobody can take it. There's a version of the nines that isn't resilience. It's hyper-vigilant endurance. It's the inability to put the wand down even when the fight is over. It's confusing exhaustion with virtue. Rest is not surrender. The war you're fighting may have ended years ago. This is the collapse before the threshold. Still walking towards your finish line. This is a burnout card. And in our culture, this gets celebrated. The hustle, the grind, the I'll sleep when I'm dead martyrdom. But that story has a shadow for most of us. It's taking on too much. And that's a trauma behavior. We learned that our value was in our usefulness, that rest was selfish, that needing help was weakness, that if we weren't carrying everything, we weren't worth keeping. It's asking you a question. What are you trying to prove? And who taught you that you have to prove it? Court cards are archetypes. They show up as people in your life or as parts of you. So pay attention to how each one makes you feel. The Page of Wands is the spark, curious, zero impulse control. The page is pure creative potential. Before it's been told it's unrealistic. This is a part of you that survived by staying hungry, always curious, and ready to bolt to the next bright thing. The shadow of this is a page who never matures, who chases inspiration as avoidance. The Knight of Wands is already moving, the horse already rearing. There is no plan, just trajectory. But at worst, it's a person who's a wrecking ball, who burns through relationships, jobs, cities, because slowing down means facing themselves. The charming one who shows up with all fiery, but leaves in a puff of smoke. The Queen of Wands is a reclaimed flame, self-possession, not performing, mastered. She knows the difference between burning and illuminating, between taking up space and taking over the room. She's what Wands energy looks like after shadow work, and she has her black cat, which tells you she knows the dark. She isn't owed it. She isn't owned by it anymore. The King of Wands has been through the burn, and he leads from it. The King of Wands is what happens when the chaotic night stops running long enough to build something. He has vision, authority, and hard-won knowledge that passion alone destroys, but passion with discipline creates. The King's shadow is a domineering tyrant, a narcissist, a visionary who cannot be questioned, the one who mistakes intensity for leadership. The King of Wands earns his authority by mastering himself first, not by demanding others submit to his fire. The Suit of Wands is not about whether you are passionate enough. It's about the relationship you have with your own desire. Because for a lot of us, desires got distorted early. We learned that wanting was selfish or delusional. We learned we either starve or we can go feral with it. And we've been trying to correct ever since. The Suit of Wands is a map through that territory, from the first raw spark to the earned, tempered sovereignty of the king. And it's asking you questions the whole way. Whose fire is this? Are you using it, or is it using you? That's the alchemy. Not burning brighter, but burning truer. And if this lit a fire in you, subscribe. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. If you're ready to look at your own fire up close, click the link in the description. Private sessions are open with me. I'll see you in the dark.